What's up, Madridistas? Welcome back to the channel. Let's get right into it. 5 goals, a clean sheet. This was the exact response that I wanted to see from Real Madrid, the players, and Xabi Alonso, because after that disaster of a Madrid derby against Atlético Madrid, we needed to see how this team would respond. There could have been excuses all over the place. An 11, 12-hour flight. The players are fatigued. They're injured. They're sad, they're mad, they're frustrated, whatever. No, this is the Champions League. Every game, every goal matters. So yes, we should celebrate a 5-0 win against Kairat Almaty. I don't care if they're minnows or not. Every goal, every win matters. Also, Mbappe, he's in ridiculous form. A hat trick, which I think we all suspected would happen or could happen in this match. And guys, he is not a natural 9. And he is adjusting to this role, and he is looking incredible, and he's only going to get better. Mbappe is on one right now. But this game wasn't about him. This game was about some other players that I'm going to talk about in this video. And also, Xabi Alonso, some of the decisions that he made in his lineup, some of the decisions that he made tactically could lead into the Villarreal match coming up this weekend. But before we get into that, before we go any further, be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new here. Guys, 544 of you have subbed. I appreciate you guys. That is insane. We are on the road to 1,000. So if you're new here, subscribe now. Appreciate it. Let's get right into it, okay? Now, these lineups, some of it is a little bit shocking, some of it wasn't. Courtois in between the sticks. I thought Lunin would get the start here, but I guess he's been delegated to only Copa del Rey matches. On the left, we had Fran Garcia. Didn't mind that. Alvaro Carreras was wet tissue paper against Atlético Madrid. He's been playing full 90s. Let's give him a break. Then we had Alaba, the Real Madrid model, the money man. He actually made an appearance, and he actually kind of performed pretty good. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then we had Dean out there. And then we had Raul Asensio. Now, I said in my match preview video leading up to this, I didn't want to see Fede Valverde at the right back spot. He did not need to play. If anyone deserved rest, it was him. And again, if you want to call it being benched or rested, Fede Valverde didn't need to see any minutes in this game. Now, there's video going around of Fede Valverde not participating in the warm-ups. And apparently, he refused to partake in the warm-ups because he did not want to play right back. It sounds like Xabi Alonso had plans to play him at right back, but Fede Valverde has said that he is not a right back and does not want to play right back. So, something to keep an eye out on. We'll see. Xabi Alonso didn't really address it, said he didn't notice it, the behavior, and he won't talk about it. So, something to keep an eye out for. But again, Fede, you've been running into the ground since the Carlo era, man. You can take a game off, be rested. I didn't want to see you play at right back, so it's okay. It's going to be okay, guys. In the midfield, we had Dani Ceballos, Tchouaméni, and Arda at that 10 spot. And then up top, we had young Franco, who I was wrong. He should have started against Atlético Madrid. Mbappé up top and Vinicius on the left. Now, if we really want to dive in on this stuff, this is where things get a little interesting for me. No Jude Bellingham in the 11. Xabi Alonso threw him out after coming off of surgery and training with the team. His first game back was in a Madrid derby in the starting 11. To see him rested for this match, this kind of makes me wonder about if he's managing his minutes after seeing him perform in the match against Atlético Madrid, or if he just trusts his depth enough to rotate. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting, but I just don't know how you throw him out there in a Madrid derby and then you just don't put him out there in this match, in the 11. So first half recap, guys, I gotta be honest. It wasn't great. The first couple of minutes were not great. The tempo was slow. We looked shaky in the build-up, and Kairat even had some moments. They had an early chance right away. I think we kind of were looking past them a little bit. But overall, we wasted a lot of chances, guys. Vinicius had this weird chip that didn't even go on target. I don't know why he didn't just round the keeper. Mbappe showed his brilliance with a beautiful nutmeg, but he dragged it out wide. And then Fran Garcia found Arda, but his shot got blocked. So there were some chances there, but we finally broke through. Mbappe got a penalty. It was the deserved call. He buries it. It's 1-0. But overall, the first half left me wanting more. We should have at least gone into halftime, at least 2 up. So some missed chances there. But the second half, we exploded. I don't know what Xabi Alonso said to them boys, but we exploded. We turned it on. Mbappe got his second goal. Beautiful assist from Courtois, but it was a vintage goal from Mbappe. He showed his blistering pace. It was a perfect chip that he actually needed to do. It was a beautiful finish. And honestly, Mbappe he was levels above everybody on the pitch. But overall, the intensity shot up. Now, usually that's the reverse. We usually come out with the intensity in the first half, and then we kind of slow down in the second. So it was good to see the opposite of that. Put more pressure on, adjust at halftime, and come out with more intensity. And now, this is where I really want to dig in deep, guys. When Rodrygo came off the bench, it was lights out. He drove at defenders. He created the third goal. He set up the fourth, and he almost scored himself. This guy is making the most of his minutes. You have to start to think that Xabi Alonso might have to start him going into the next match against Villarreal, because I love Vinicius Jr. I've been critical of him, but I think we all can agree Vinicius Jr. is inconsistent, and it's nothing new to say that. It's been a problem for him since his time at Real Madrid. And he doesn't look like he's gelling with the team, especially the attack. He just looks disconnected. Mbappe and Arda have found each other. They have chemistry. Those two need to be in the starting 11 no matter what. Camavinga came on. He scored. He didn't even celebrate. Some people are saying that was a shout to Xabi Alonso. I think it was just like, it's Kairat Almaty. I'm not going to celebrate, because even Mbappe didn't celebrate his first goal crazy. So, but I think Camavinga is showing that he's ready to start. He's getting his fit out there. And then Brahim Diaz sealed it with the 5th goal. So we went from nervy to very dominant in 45 minutes. The bigger story here is Xabi Alonso, again, shows that he's not afraid to bench or rest his stars. Valverde, Jude Bellingham, Rodrygo, Alvaro Carreras. Again, I think this is more of rest than bench, but again, he is sticking to his philosophy or his rule about that in the rotation. On the positive side of that, it is creating this competitiveness within the team, and it might be exactly what keeps us sharp across La Liga and Champions League. The players know that their time is not guaranteed if they don't perform, and in practice and whatever, training, whatever, everybody knows that they have to perform well in front of Xabi Alonso in order to get out in that starting 11. Now, let's talk about Kairat Almaty. Look, these guys didn't have a chance. Kudos to them for kind of making it somewhat difficult for us in the first half. But again, this is the Champions League, guys. Every game matters. Every goal matters. And goal difference could come into play later. So scoring 5 and keeping a clean sheet is huge, all right? It sets the tone for the rest of the stage, and it's a message to other teams that Madrid can respond after setbacks. And that's the mark of a serious contender. Now, right now, we are sitting in 2nd place, and I feel good about that. We got Juve coming up next, but if you look at these teams, I mean, we got games to be played today. PSG, Barca play later today. We'll see how that goes. But again, I said that, you can go to a certain place and slip up a little bit. Look at what happened to Liverpool. Tottenham had a scare there. They only came away with a point. Now they're still sitting in 4th, but things can happen in the Champions League. We could have easily been sleepwalking into this match, and Kairat almost caught us. They almost caught us with an early chance. So again, these games matter. All the goals matter. But I love that we responded this way. I got to get to the player shout-outs. Mbappe, he's obviously on fire. He's on his Ballon d'Or trajectory. God forbid anything happens to him. No injuries. But the only thing I'm concerned about is that, do we rely too much on Mbappe to score us goals? We need somebody else to kind of contribute to the goal scoring now. Mbappe is going to get his, but what happens if he goes down or he needs to be rested? Who's going to step up and get those goals for us. That's the only concern that I have right now. But Mbappe, you are incredible. Best player in the world right now. You can say Lamine Yamal, but Mbappe is the best player in the world right now. He's playing in a position that isn't his. He's adjusting to that, and he's performing like this. And he's only going to get better. Mbappe is ridiculous. Rodrygo, for me, like I said, this was the game where he proved he deserves to start. He came on in the second half and instantly made an impact in his direct runs, he was fearless on the ball. He created chances right away. He was involved in the third, set up the fourth, and like I said, he nearly scored himself. And every time he touches the ball right now, you feel something's going to happen. So compare that to Vini. He's very inconsistent, and he feels disconnected. Even Franco is looking more connected to the players and the attack than Vinicius Jr. right now. In my opinion, that's just how I feel. So I think Xabi Alonso needs to reward the effort that he's seeing from Rodrygo. Even in the Marseille match or whenever he gets in these games, in these minutes, he makes the best of them, and he makes game-changing impact every time he gets on there. So I think Rodrygo should start the next match, even if it means Vini has to sit. Form has to matter. And Rodrygo is delivering. He is delivering, guys. So I expect to see Rodrygo start in the Villarreal match this weekend, but we'll see. Camavinga, he had a statement performance. He was winning balls. He has that energy, guys. He's carrying forward, and like I said, I think he's ready. He scored. He didn't celebrate. I think he's just showing that he's fit and he's ready to get back into this team and get back into the 11, possibly. Fran Garcia, he played good. He stepped up with Carreras out. And it's just showing that we have a reliable option at left back as a backup. And he was brave going forward. He actually made some things happen. So I like seeing that. Dean and Alaba were a good pairing. They were much sharper, or Dean was much sharper in this match. And then Alaba, he kind of showed glimpses of his 2022 form. So something interesting to see moving forward, how we rotate in that center back spot. But for me, guys, my standout player was Dani Ceballos. He has to be starting every single game here on out. I've seen enough. He's the only midfielder in the squad who can truly dictate the tempo. And just the way he's been distributing the ball, the way he controls the rhythm, we just look different when he's out there. Now, we want to talk about consistency. He's been inconsistent too, but lately he's been showing consistency that he can be that guy for us. Excuse me. He proved that in this match. And honestly, I would say drop whoever you need to, Xabi Alonso. Get this man out there. Let's see it. But he has to be in the 11. We need somebody to control the game for us, and he's been the only one that's done that so far. If Alonso wants to control the midfield, he's the only guy on the team right now in the midfield that provides it for me. That's just what I've seen. Now, again, he could go off and be a Sunday League player, but lately he's been looking like Zinedine Zidane out there. I don't know what's going on with Dani Ceballos, but it's night or day. But so far, he's been at that consistency level, and he's controlling the tempo out there. So he was my man of the match as far as just like a standout performance of like something that you weren't expecting. That's what I'm getting from him. So I'd like to see him in the Villarreal match as well too. But like I said, this game, we needed a result. We needed to respond. And now we have some momentum, some positive vibes, if you will, going into the Villarreal match, because we're going to need that. Villarreal has been one of the most informed teams in La Liga, and they're going to press us much harder than Kairat Almaty. Let's just keep it a buck. This is the perfect match for Alonso to reward Rodrygo, reward Dani Ceballos. They've both been making the most of their minutes. And against Villarreal, we're going to need Rodrygo's energy, his directness, and creativity. Vini, on the other hand, like I said, he's just been inconsistent, which isn't new. It's not new. But right now, he just looks very disconnected. I kind of repeat myself, but I just want to hammer that home that Rodrygo is making the most of his minutes, and Vini is just, he's all over the place right now. So, Real Madrid smash Kairat Almaty 5-0. Mbappe gets the hat trick, but again, like I said, Dani Dani Ceballos made Madrid tick in this match. What did you guys think of this performance? Who stood out the most to you? Let me know in the comments. Seriously, I'm really curious because there were a lot of players that stood out for me in this one, but again, it was Dani Ceballos. So let me know in the comments. I'll read them, I'll reply, I'll judge. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, okay? And let's get it done this weekend against Villarreal. Until then, a la Madrid, peace.